Virginia's state elections are in less than 2 weeks, and there are major races for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, all seats in the House of Delegates, and many local offices across the Commonwealth. Virginia's elections are often considered as early indicators of public opinion on the presidential administration, and we'll be checking which way the wind is blowing in that state now that President Trump's second term is well underway. Joining us for Insight is Virginia voter and senior investigator with Restoration of America, Victoria Manning. Victoria, good to have you with us today. Thank you for joining us. What are the most important issues facing Virginians today?
One of the big issues that is facing Virginians and as well as the rest of America, as you've just been reporting, are illegal alien crimes. And that's something that I've just reported on this week. And I discovered in my own city of Virginia Beach in just the last 2 months. We've had 29 illegal aliens arrested for crimes ranging from theft and DUI to child rape and murder. And this is something that Virginians are very concerned about and are paying a lot of attention to. Governor Youngkin issued an executive order earlier this year directing the Virginia State Police and local law enforcement officials to cooperate with ICE and to get these illegal alien criminals off our streets. So far, since February, over 5,600 illegal alien criminals have been arrested.
And in terms of the election, how are you hoping that this issue might be addressed?
So one big issue is in the House of Delegates. The power currently resides with the Democrats, but it's a very close House of Delegates, and we've got some seats that could flip from Democrat to Republican, including one of those here in Virginia Beach. I reached out to Democrat Delegate Michael Fagans, who represents part of Virginia Beach, because many of these crimes have been taking place in his district. For example, there was an 11-year-old little girl who was raped by an illegal alien. He snuck into her bedroom 3 different times and raped her. He was just convicted just a couple of weeks ago here in Virginia, in Virginia Beach. And, Delegate Fagans is silent on this. He's not speaking up about it. I did speak with his opponent, Tim Anderson, who's running against him, and he's very concerned about these potential sanctuary policies that Governor candidate Abigail Spanberger has said she will implement. She has said she will rescind Governor Youngkin's policy that cooperates with ICE.
And what do you think Virginians are thinking on this topic? Is that going to be enough? Is there enough awareness about it? Is it going to sway them to vote in a particular direction? What are the trends showing at the moment?
Virginians are definitely opposed to sanctuary cities. Majority of the sheriffs across our state do cooperate with ICE, but you do have cities, crime-ridden cities like Richmond, Virginia, who don't cooperate with ICE, and they're harboring these illegal aliens. And I think Virginians are starting to see that, and I do think that it is a factor in the upcoming election and could potentially sway the House of Delegates race to the side of the Republicans.
You've been investigating this topic, and you, as you mentioned, you live right there in the state and have experienced some of the distressing symptoms of the policies that you've described. What do you think, if anything, is missing from the conversation in these elections coming up that may need more space and airtime in the public sphere?
Yeah, so it's happening in everyone's backyard. Virginia Beach is a safe city. And just a couple of weeks ago, I was running some errands not too far from my home, and it was a Saturday morning, and I noticed that the police were there and had taped off a shopping center. And I found out a few hours later that that there had been an illegal alien murder that had happened in that parking lot. An illegal alien murdered a man. I was going out to dinner in that shopping center that very evening. So these crimes are just striking close to home. It's happening all across our state. I think the open border policies of the Democrats over the last 4 years are going to continue to impact our nation for years to come. And we do need strong leaders who are going to stand up and take action like Governor Youngkin did in issuing his executive order.
And pivoting a little here to the race for the Attorney General and something that's recently shaken up that race, violent texts from the candidate, Jay Jones, recently surfacing, directed at the former Speaker of the House, Todd Gilbert, and his family. Is the controversy spilling over to the governor's race, and how do you see it at this point in time as the election approaches?
Yeah, I definitely do think it's spilling over into the governor's race and other races, because not one Democrat has called for him to step down from the race. And I think that is impacting them. I was the first to report recently that there is an open investigation into Jay Jones. He was required to do some community service for that reckless driving ticket that he got in New Kent County. And they are investigating whether or not he appropriately completed that community service. I have evidence that perhaps he did not. He completed his community service, part of it, with his own political action committee, which is typically forbidden. And so there is an open investigation into that. So that, in combined with his violent texts, definitely we see Attorney General Jason Miyares speeding ahead in that race. And I do think that that is spilling over into some of the House of Delegates races as well as the governor's race.
And any thoughts on Lieutenant Governor and how the governor's race more generally is going?
Yeah, so Lieutenant Governor race is really exciting to watch. John Reed, the Republican candidate, has been trying to get his opponent, the Democrat candidate Hashmi, to debate him, and she is just absolutely refusing to debate. He actually held an AI debate a couple of days ago. It's interesting to watch. If you go to his website, you'll see that. Hashmi refused to show up, so he had a debate essentially with a computer. And so that was interesting to watch. Those numbers are very close in that race. Currently, many polls have that race tied.
And what will you be watching for in the candidates as Election Day closes in?
You know, the candidates, their event schedule is very full. I just saw a schedule for Lieutenant Governor Winsmore Sears, who has a very full schedule, traveling the entire state, trying to meet voters and get out into communities, and really trying to get their base out to make sure that they vote. If they haven't already voted, getting them out. A lot of the early voting satellite sites are opening up this weekend across the state. So I think all of the candidates are going to be focused on getting their voters out to the polls.
Well, it's been great to have your insights today. Victoria Manning of Restoration of America. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.